What's up, everybody? This is Teddy, as you may know me, or Theodore. But this is my video. I'm gonna be posting this on all forms of social media, just kind of to give you guys an idea of what's going on right now. So, why has this seemed to go on for so long to some people? People have been kind of seeing what's going on the last few years, and uh, you know, especially recently. It's been more serious recently, but basically, around 2020, I got very sick. I came down with an autoimmune disorder, actually three of them. It took about a year and a half just to get diagnosed because I was unable to get the proper medical insurance, because it literally took me getting knocked out of work completely, because it got to the point where the whole right side of my body was going numb and I couldn't really function, and you know, I couldn't work. So Access finally enacted itself. Sorry, there's a little bug flying around. But Access enacted itself finally, and it took another 6 months to get fully diagnosed. So it took about 2 years before I was even diagnosed. So it's already 2022 by the time I'm finally diagnosed. And at this point, I had pretty much lost everything. Um, I was already staying at a friend's house when 2020 happened in the pandemic, and he had left the state and basically had given me a place to kind of to save up a bit and help him out because he moved to California. But unfortunately, that's when I got sick and I couldn't get everything figured out. I was able to get on PUA back then. That's kind of what kept me alive for a little bit, and I got into a motel, and I was trying to get into an apartment at that time. So, uh, and I had lost the motel and everything, and I was staying on my brother's couch when I finally was going to get diagnosed. I had found the first part. They had found the hypothyroidism, but I hadn't been diagnosed yet for the GERD and the esophagitis until it was like around April of 2022. And then for basically another 2 years, we were trying to figure out how to deal with that because I could never really rest, and I had to keep working because this whole time I don't really have anyone else in my life. It's just me. Um, Not that that's different than a lot of people in this life, but you'll understand. When things happen to you and you don't have anyone around, and I'm not just talking like that makes it a problem with not having people around to help you or not, but it was hard to do things like in the middle of the night when I had to go to the emergency room 8 times in 2 years. I had to do it every single time at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was terrified because I didn't have insurance at the time. So things like that. Getting to doctor's appointments, all types of things like that. It would have been helpful to have people in my life, but I didn't. Even this last time going to the emergency room, I had to walk home from the emergency room after getting anti-inflammation injections. So, but moving on, 2024, I start kind of getting a hold of it. I'm still fighting with my living situation at that point. And around uh the end of 2024, I finally had, was it 2020? Yeah, it was the end of 2024. I had finally got into this camper that I'm living in currently, and basically it was like the end of 2024 too. So moving into 2024, I had already dealt with all this other stuff, living in a motel, losing everything I had, pretty much starting from nothing and finally getting into a camper, still not with much. And then I was only in this camper for about 4 months, 5 months, and then I got into that car accident where I fractured my spine in April of 2025. So that's why things have seemed prolonged. I literally had just come out of a battle I had 4 months, and and finally rebuilt my life, and I was getting better. The esophagitis had gone down, the inflammation had gone down when they went and did the my last colonoscopy, because I get colonoscopies done every year. You know what I mean? I'm 40 years old. I've already had four four colonoscopies, three endoscopies, uh, one bronchoscopy. Like I've already had. They stuck scopes in me all over the place, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And and then after I got into the car accident, I couldn't work for 3 months, pretty much. I was pretty much out of work. I mean, 6 weeks straight, I couldn't do anything. I just had to sit in my camper, and really it was like 8. And then even after that, literally for like the whole last summer, I could hardly work. I worked like 25% of what I could handle because I was pushing myself so hard to the point where I would work a day and then I'd be down a day. I'd work a day and be down a day. Work a day and be down a day. Sometimes I'd be down 2 or 3 days because it just would depend because I'd get sick or something. That's another thing is since I fractured my spine again, it's like all my autoimmune disorders are getting worse. I haven't had time to go get another colonoscopy. I haven't been to a doctor in a while. I need to. That's what they told me when I went to the ER, but I haven't had time because I can't even afford a driver. I'm literally driving around on a expired registration right now with no insurance, 3 payments behind, with 2 tires that I literally have to inflate daily. So I'm literally fighting for my life, scrambling to try to catch up. And when I went to this, and right when I thought I was starting to get better, I pushed myself a little bit more in April. That's when I went to the ER. And then basically this whole last month, I've had to try to find a medium. I tried taking on a second job. It didn't work out because I would get there and, or I was late, or yeah, what happened was I was late. I got home, I took a nap, and I slipped past when I was supposed to be there, and they had me on a probation because my body's just so tired because I work so much. I have to keep my main job too because it's the only job I have that was gonna pay me the most I can get. You know what I mean? No other job's gonna pay me close to $1,000 every week. Nowhere. You know what I mean? Most places are gonna pay you around $20 to $25 an hour. After taxes, that's like $500-600 a week. That's a bad week for me. When I have that much money, it's a very bad week for me. Because I need at least, because I spend on food and gas alone, I probably spend $200 to $300 a week just on food and gas alone. Because my diet isn't like what most people can eat. Because I have GERD, I can't eat most things. I have to eat certain things that my stomach can handle. And with the esophagitis, it makes it worse. It's not just like having GERD where you can eat a certain diet. I can't eat everything you can't eat with GERD, but then with esophagitis, you can't eat other little small things on top of it, like rice and things like that. Can't eat beans too much. I can still eat like refried beans because it's more smashed, but like other beans, it gets stuck, and then they have to spit them up, and they end up causing more problem than they help because of the inflammation inside of my esophagus. That's what esophagitis is, and people see that I look great, but that's because I can't gain weight. I haven't been at my normal weight since 2020. I've been, the most I get is up to like 150 to 152. I think 155's the close. That's like my normal weight. I've gotten there like once, but 152 has been like the highest I've been able to get back to. Right now, I'm probably around 137, 138. I'm probably not even at 140 because I can't even eat what I need every day. I'm losing meals every day just to save money. Which means I'm not healing properly because if I'm not getting the nutrition that I need, I'm not healing properly because I don't gain weight. If I don't eat around 3,000 calories a day, I don't gain weight. I barely sustain weight. So it's like I'm literally fighting everything. You know what I mean? And on top of it, I'm completely alone. I don't have family. All my family lives outside of the state. I have my brother, but he's not around. He doesn't care. He can't even pay me back for the 5 months that I paid when I was sick, paying his phone bill. You know what I mean? I've been asking him for 2 years, and he won't even give me $1 back. So, you know what I mean? I have no family out here because they don't care. When I do stuff for them, it doesn't happen back for me. And the family who does care, they don't live here. You know what I mean? They live in California and Texas, so they aren't here to see everything, so they can't help out with a lot of things like, driving me places and things like that, which would, really, really help me out. Just having that kind of stuff alone would help me out and probably save me a lot of money. Um, and, I'm doing everything I can in my life to try to get through this. And I just really, really need some help. I really need some help. You know what I mean? Because I'm also, and I didn't even mention, I'm also helping my mom who's dealing with cancer. I pay her phone bill every single month, and, when I can, I try to help out with other little things, but, you know what I mean? I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying to be a good son. I'm trying to be a hardworking man. And I'm killing myself. I can feel it. I just wait for that night. Every night I go to sleep. Like you can see right here, like I have to change this out nightly. I spit in this. I have like a can over there. I got a can in my car. I still spit. I've gotten a lot better at hiding it. So the hardest part is I've been a burden on those that have helped. You know what I mean? And that hurts me the most. It's because I need to get like a large, thing at once. The thing is, I keep getting like little bits at a time, like maybe 100 here, 500 here, and I'm talking like jobs too. I literally need like a few $1,000s, like right now. And I know that's hard to ask, but that's where I'm at realistically. I If I had $3,000, it'd be gone tomorrow because I'd pay a bunch of stuff with it. I'm probably 2,000 behind just in rent. So I'm trying to do everything I can to hold them. That's why I'm here asking for help. And I'm not trying to be a victim. I'm literally fighting every day, waking up. I'm praying every single day. I just finished praying before I did this. I'll pray again here, probably 3 or 4 more times today while I try to take action. But I knew I had to sit down and make this video. And really, I've done live and stuff, but I'm always driving and doing something I shouldn't be doing while doing this because not making myself look better. But I'm just at times of desperation that I try to put everything together so I'm able to save as much time because I don't have a lot of time because I have to get 8 hours of sleep every day, and just getting to sleep every night is a task. It takes me to almost between 12 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I get to sleep, and then I have to sleep 8 hours. So it takes then I'm not up until 8 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's losing time there too, and I can't fix that. When I try to force myself to get up and work after 6 hours or 7 hours, my body literally collapses, and I end up sleeping. I end up either sleeping later on in the middle of the day, and then I end up sleeping for 4 or 5 hours and lose a half a day, or just there's so much going on. And I realized that if I don't sit down and heal my body, I'm going to keep fighting this. And I know I've asked for a lot of help, but I need this so badly. I need this so badly. So, I'm going to have my GoFundMe in here, as well as I'll have, if you want to do, it's easier actually if you do direct payments through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, things like that, because it, just goes directly into the account. There's no processing like there is on GoFundMe. If you feel easier with helping me on GoFundMe, then that's fine. I'll take that kind of help. If you don't want to give me cash and you just want to give me a gift card, I understand. That's fine too. If you want to help out with like food, things like that, Fry's gift cards I can use for getting gas, I understand. If you don't feel comfortable giving cash, even if you want to give food and you really want me to, give you a list, I'll give you a list of stuff. And, you can drop some food if you want to help. If you want to fill up my gas tank, that helps out too. There's a lot of things. I mean, honestly, if you don't want to feel like you're giving me a handout, you know, it can be a loan. I'll pay you back. You know, if it's a lot of money, it might take some time, but I'll pay you back. Um, if you know, you don't want to do that, you know, the best way, the best way is you could do my detailing services. You know what I mean? You can ceramic coats are probably the number one way to help me because it's like $500 a pop, and you know what I mean. If I sold like 10 of those, I'd be in a much better spot. You know, even if somebody wanted to come and buy a bunch from me, hand them out, whatever. Uh, there's so many ways I'm willing. I'm willing to do this. I'm not just sitting here asking for the world to help me and not to worry about themselves or get something else out of it or get something back. Even if like you give me money and you want to add interest on top of it as a loan or whatever, I'll do that. I'll do whatever I have to do at this point. That's legal, obviously. Obviously not selling myself because I try to have some respect at this point, even though I've thought about it because I don't know what to do at this point. So that's where I'm at. You know, I appreciate all of you. Trust me, when it comes to looking for other work, unless you have a job that pays over $1,000 a week after taxes, it's just not, usable. Taking on any other second jobs, it's just not. If I'm having trouble with the one I have because of my body, and I can't get rid of that one and I can't replace it with a better one, adding another one isn't going to be a good idea either, unless it's something I can do remotely. So anything else other than that is not going to be a good idea. I've tried everything outside of that second job wise. Only a remote job's going to be able to do second wise. You know what I mean? I can't handle it. Obviously, I can't do Uber Eats and stuff right now because I don't even have registration on my vehicle, or insurance or any of that. So I got to get all that stuff taken care of. I'm in a dire situation, but anything else, you know what I mean? I'm willing to do it. Like I said. And even if you can't do anything, don't feel bad. I'm not mad if someone can't help me. Don't be mad if you can't help me. Don't find a reason to be mad at me for my situation. It doesn't help my situation, and it doesn't help yours. To come at me and to treat me like I did something to you because I'm asking for help when I'm doing everything I can in my own life. That's all I'm doing is asking for help. So, with that, if you made it through this far and you watched this whole video, thank you so much. Even that means a lot to me. I really want to be there to help other people as well. If I get through this, I'm willing to really give back to other people, really give back to other people, however it is, If I had, when I have my money in the savings or whatever, and I'm still, I'll be easily helping people because I understand now. I see what it is. It's not just forcing others and this and that, and going to the state, whatnot. If I had kids, it would be a lot easier. But because I don't have children, everything takes weeks and weeks and weeks, and you have to go through meetings and all kinds of stuff. It's not just like they give you money that day you call them. It's very hard to get it. I'm actually still waiting on a call back through the and through my county. It's even worse because I'm not in Maricopa County. There's probably more judges there, but because I'm in a smaller county, because I'm in Pima or Pinal, I'm not really sure which one it is. But yeah, it's like 5 weeks behind, and that was like a month ago. So maybe in the next week or so they might call. But even them, like they aren't gonna be able to give me the kind of support I need, except maybe for helping me with rent. But that's still not gonna help out with my car, and then other things that I have that I need to get caught up with. So um yeah, if you want to help, I appreciate it. There's lots of ways. Like I said, I said them all. If there's anything else that you can think of, that seems reasonable, you can reach out and DM me. If this is on one of the platforms on social medias where you can DM me, if this is on like YouTube or something that you see this, my Instagram and stuff should be in the description, so you can contact me on Instagram or something if that's there. But like on Facebook, obviously, you can contact me directly, Instagram, things like that, TikTok. So I'm gonna be posting this everywhere. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and Have a good day and God bless you.